4, 3, 2, 1. We are live and we are devastated. Guys, my name is Jason J. Daniel. Breaking news. Let's just get right to it. Caitlin Clark is injured. Caitlin Clark, the GOAT of women's basketball, the GOAT of probably anybody playing sports right now in the world, is hurt. Caitlin Clark is injured. She's going to be out 2 weeks. This is devastating to everybody around the world that loves sports. Devastating to everybody but the haters. The haters got what they wanted. That's okay. You wanted her to hurt. This is on you guys. This is your karma, you haters. But Caitlin Clark is injured. Welcome to the Jason J. Daniels Show. Guys, I'm devastated. I mean, it could be worse. She could be out months. She could be out the season. It's a short season. 2 weeks is a big deal. So I decided to have some coffee talk. It's a holiday, so hats off to all of you all who are doing holiday things. So God bless you guys. It's an American holiday. 3-day weekend. Devastating news. I just wanted to jump on really quick to talk about it. So what you're dealing with here is two things. Three things. I'll give you three things. One, we now know why her shot was off. I'll explain that a little later on. Caitlin has been injured probably for a week or two, maybe a week, 2 games. The 2 games that her shot was off, the dream game and then this last game, but she put it together. That was an indicator to me that she has been playing hurt. Guys, I am my own producer, so give me just a second here to check my sound. If you watch my show, I have sound issues all the time. Okay, cool. We cool. If you watch my show, you know that we have sound issues all the time on this show. So let me just establish. My name is Jason J. Daniel. Please follow and sub. If you're my subscriptions are really blowing up on YouTube and Rumble. Thank you guys. Thank you. Because of you guys, I'm going to still be committed to doing a post-game show on the Fever. Love the Fever. Love this team. They're really going to struggle. We'll get into it. It's going to be some losses here. More losses. Can't do this. But we're going to have to do it. But thanks for watching. Sub if you can. Follow me everywhere. Appreciate it. Follow me on X. I need your help. A lot of haters are coming after me. I'm going to be honest. Getting a lot of really terrible, hateful stuff coming at me because I support Caitlin. And I know you guys are dealing with that too. So we'll support each other. But I get more than 1,000 comments a day on my TikTok. My TikTok is this is my other TikTok, but it's real Jason J. Daniel, but that one will lead you to the other one. I have 8,000 followers and that's growing. So thank you guys. I do a lot of Caitlin Clark stuff. I'm critical of Angel Reese as well, but not as much as the people that watch my TikToks. They hate her, but I'm getting a lot of attacks. So guys, help me if you can. And how you can help me is by subbing. Look, our Lucky Basketball didn't do it for us, guys. I was rubbing the Lucky Basketball. It didn't help. But I have to tell you, she was hurt before I got the Lucky Basketball. So you can give me that mulligan. Again, guys, if you're joining me late, Caitlin Clark is injured. She's out 2 weeks, left quadriceps strain. I wasn't going to podcast today. I was going to take a break because I've been doing a lot of podcasts and honestly been doing a lot of social media. That wears you down after a while. A lot of talking, my voice. Now I'm going to trim some of it down now that I was doing a TV review. That show ended, so we're cool. We're just going to do Fever games. I'm going to take it easy on that. I have some interviews I'm going to do. But anyway, my point is Caitlin Clark is injured. And my theory is, and I'm pretty sure my theory is right, I'll get into it and show you. I'm going to actually go online here and show you what a quad injury looks like. Sorry, guys. I got up late because of the holiday. I was up way late. I was up till 2 a.m. doing my podcast for Last of Us. You can check that out in the archive. I had to do the finale, and so I went to bed late, woke up. I did not expect breaking Caitlin Clark injury news. Nobody did. So I'm devastated. I really am. It's a game changer for the WNBA. It really is. And we'll look at the schedule too. But I'm not a doctor. I don't play a doctor on the internet. I'm not a doctor, but I'm Dr. Jason. They call me Dr. Jason, and Dr. Jason is going to show you some internet stuff, and that'll prove my point of what this injury was. My point is, thanks for watching, guys. Caitlin Clark is injured. That news just came down about 2 hours ago. The Indiana Fever posted it on their X account, and they said no further details until later on. They don't have any other details. So they dropped that special surprise on the holiday. Low news day, so that's probably why they waited. I do think that Caitlin was playing hurt. They knew it. She was strained, and she was pressing, and then she went into Superman mode. Supergirl, Superwoman, super whatever, super person if you're woke. She went into super thing mode and just blew the roof off of that arena. You saw it. If you're watching this podcast, you saw it. Blew the roof off, right? And you're like, how did she do this? It was crazy. She had 2 incredible plays. They still lost. So Caitlin's pressing. We knew she was pressing. Her shot had been off for a whole game and a half. Literally. She wasn't hitting shots for a game and a half. And I'm like, and I told you guys, something wrong here. Something's not right with her. And I thought maybe it was psychological. Maybe she's pushing, pressing. These things happen. I thought she needs to I personally was thinking maybe she just needs to take a break. Have some, they have a stretch here where they have, counting today, 1, 2, 3, 4 days off. And so I'm thinking, okay, she just needs to get through this game and get to that break. That'll be huge for her. But no, I'll take my shades off. Sorry. I was in mourning. But it's early for me. I know it's afternoon I'm on the West Coast, afternoon on the West Coast. So it's still a little early for me. This is coffee. I got my coffee going. So she's hurt. If you're just joining me, Caitlin Clark, the GOAT, the great one. Caitlin Clark Maximus. Caitlin Maximus Clarkus is out. And we're all going to be really paying the price. It's going to be terrible basketball, honestly. When Caitlin's on the bench for 3 minutes, it's shenanigans, okay? The shenanigans are wild on that offense when Caitlin's on the bench. It's almost like, okay, substitute teacher time, or it's like, okay, teacher's gone, right? Principal's gone, so now we can screw around for 5 minutes. Now you're going to have like 14 days of screwing around in this offense. Shenanigans. Who will they move into the starting lineup? Who knows, man? I mean, obviously, I think Colson is solid, and that's why you pay her. That's why you got a Colson on your bench. I hate the fact that Caitlin plays point guard anyway. I've always hated that. She's a 2. Now she's a guard, and I'll explain that to you guys. Some of you guys are still confused. A lot of you guys are new basketball fans, and a lot of you are older. In fact, my YouTube demographics let me know that there are a lot of people most of my people that watch this show are a little under my age, and then older. So I got you. You're my people. I got my peoples. I got you. I'll help you. So a lot of you are probably newer fans, right? You don't quite understand the game. And the NBA game has some differences than WNBA. There's some significant differences. And I would love to do a podcast to break those differences down for you basketball fans. But we'll get to it when we get to it. But really quick, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this podcast. I know it's a holiday for you guys, but I just wanted to get the news out. But I will say this, maybe Colson, that's why you pay her. Let's put her in the lineup. Caitlin has the ball all the time. She's always passing. She's always shooting. That causes a lot of stress on the legs, where the quad's at, a lot of stress on the body. If you're just joining me, guys, Caitlin Clark is out for 2 weeks or more with the left quadriceps strain. They just announced it about 2.5 hours ago. X. It was announced on the old X machine. That's where you get all your breaking news and this podcast. So Colson will probably be in the starting lineup. Obviously, Kelsey Mitchell will be at the 2, and then from there they can probably be creative with your forwards. Aaliyah is always going to be in your. She's your center. She's your solid rock. So the team announced the news about 2.5 hours ago now, and it's just like that. They announced it on a low news day. It's depressing for everybody. And so I had to just jump on and get on the old podcast machine with you guys. One of the things I do want to say is it makes sense now why she's been off for these 2 games. I just mentioned it earlier. I believe Caitlin's been playing hurt. In fact, I know she has. Clearly, you just don't develop a left quadriceps strain overnight. And I was thinking, I did a TikTok, and I was thinking, and I was just waking up, I mean, I've been up for a few hours watching. I watched a movie that is on HBO, not recommended. I'm not going to mention it, but really weird and boring. But I kind of was in and out, waking up, right? And then jumped on. I was trying to stay off social today, but I jumped on. I had an instinct and saw this news. And so what do we make of this? Well, the first thing I thought was she scrimmaging yesterday? Because they could have, right? They had a day off. And then, I realized, after I kind of woke up, I dropped the TikTok and was like, no, wait a second. No, this is something that's been lingering. Then I'm like, let me go on and do this. And while I was setting up, it totally occurred to me, oh, she's been hurt for 2 games. This is that. And they're putting her on the shelf now. I'm looking at my calendar up here. I have a wall calendar. They're putting her on the shelf because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 days off. Yeah, and I'm sorry, 3 days off before the next game. 4 counting yet. Yeah, 3 days off. So sorry, I got my dates wrong. I said earlier 4 days, but 3 days. They have 3 days off. They play on Wednesday. A day off. They play again on Friday. And then we'll take a look from there. That's the most important situation right now. So they have a little bit of a bump, 3 days, which is nice. So they had to take advantage of that. And clearly, she's probably woke up really, really sore, really, really maybe swollen. And the doctor's like, and she probably has a doctor check-in every day. You realize that, right? She has a phone call every day when she goes on the days that she's probably not scrimmaging or going to the arena, or so when she goes to practice, they do a check-in with the trainer, then a check-in with medical if they need to. They're always checking the GOAT. You have to. She's a $1 billion franchise. Well, that $1 billion franchise is going to be on the shelf. Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking they finally hurt her. I think she probably just hurt herself. It's a tough game, and she presses. She's trying to hit those big threes for you guys. She's trying to take care of the people. So I think she's been hurt. I think in the Atlanta game, she was hurt. She scored, 11 points or something? It was just like the lowest output she's had in months. And it wasn't a typical Caitlin game. Her shot was way off. Now it makes sense. In fact, what's at the last game? She jacked up a 3, and it was way off. It hit the backboard. In the dream game, she had an air ball. In the last game against the Liberty at home, she shot this weird off target shot, hit the backboard. It was way right. It was so weird. And the action was fast and furious, so there wasn't a break in the moment so that we could talk about that and linger on it and the announcers mention it. But that was crazy. So it made sense. And if you're just joining me, Caitlin Clark is out for 2 weeks or more with the left quadriceps strain, and we're breaking that down. And I just think she's been hurt for at least a week, maybe more, playing through it. Look, that's pro sports. The great ones play through injuries. There's a silver lining. We'll get into that in a moment. But I do want to just talk about the whole concept of her playing hurt and been hurt. So for those of you, the haters who watch this, because I got a lot of haters who watch this, who are waiting for Caitlin Clark's downfall, I have to tell you, this is something that is not because she was hurt or people that are worried about that on the court. It wasn't her on the court. She's been playing hurt because she's that good. So she has been still playing a lot of minutes, and Stephanie reduced her minutes. You notice Stephanie had her on the bench a little bit more, and we were like, why are they sitting Caitlin in weird times? The injury. So Caitlin has been injured, and it makes sense now that they're announcing it today where there's a break, because when you there's something about not playing for a couple of days. Your leg freezes up, your quad freezes up, and then it demands that you need to respect that. Plus, she had 2 bad games numbers-wise, and that's not going to get any better. She has to get healthy. Now, they're probably saying 2 weeks at a minimum because you don't want to play with that, and that's her shot. And it could be a worse injury if you continue to – any injury could get worse. You don't want to play with that. So, and we'll get into it in a moment. I'll screen share and show you where the quadriceps is to help you understand my theory is correct. When I looked at the injury, like when I was like playing doctor on the internet, Dr. Jason, when I looked at the injury online, or what that looks like, I was like, oh, this makes sense. She's been playing hurt. In fact, let's just jump to it right now. Let me just show you. I can do some screen sharing right here. Okay. And let's do this. You should see. Okay, cool. Let me take this off. Okay, so here we go. This is the left quadriceps. There's your quad muscles. Guess what? It's your leg bones, baby. Okay? So, your quad muscles. Okay? This is where the action happens for Caitlin Clark. Her left one, let's see, I guess. Yeah, if you're staring at this is her left, where she probably plants and where most of her energy comes from. If you guys watch Caitlin Clark's game, you will know that she always moves to the left to get that freedom of shot. Her biggest 3-point bombs come when she's moving to the left, and that's what they try to take away from her, that left side. So as you can see, this is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the quadriceps that are on her left side, and that's obviously a clear indicator her shot was off. All right. So I'm not Dr. Jason or anything, but I got to be honest with you. This is an indicator to me. She's been playing hurt. This just doesn't develop overnight. As you can see, this is where the injury is. If you guys are joining us, Caitlin Clark is out for 2 weeks at the minimum, just announced by the Indiana Fever because of this leg bone. Knee bone connected to the leg bone. You got a leg bone problem. Not the bone, sorry, the muscle. I'm just trying to be funny because, it's the internet. Thanks for joining me, guys. But yeah, she's out, man. It's crazy. Caitlin's out. And she's out because of this strain here. And as I was just explaining to you, if you know her game, she moves to the left. Boom, that's where that's where the magic happens. She can get that separation on the left, and she's draining that three. She's not stoppable. She cannot be denied. And as we've been seeing in the last 2 games, her shot's been way off. And this is an indicator that she's been playing hurt. So whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but that's the fact. And that's what she's doing for that. She's doing that for you guys. That's what she's doing. She's playing hurt because she wants to win. She's that much of a gamer. And if you're just joining me, Caitlin Clark is injured. It's not an internet rumor. I saw it on X and thought, oh my gosh, I hate these haters. I hate you guys. What? Stop with the rumors. But it wasn't a rumor. It's truth. Caitlin Clark is injured. I went to the source, the official Indiana Fever webpage, and it's listed as a legitimate injury. So she's going to be out for 2 weeks or so, and even more maybe. You don't want to play with that. And like I was saying earlier, it makes sense to me now why her shot's been off for a game and a half, why she's been struggling. She's been playing hurt, playing on that hurt quad. And also Stephanie was giving her weird breaks. Sorry, I hit my lucky basketball. Stephanie was giving her weird breaks, and we were like, why are they putting her on the bench so much? She played less minutes, I believe, in the last game than she's played in like a year or two. Like she's never under 40 minutes. Rarely. She was under 40 minutes last game, and now we know why. So let's just look at this schedule. Let me pull up the schedule here, and this is going to be a quick one for you guys tonight. Today, let's look at the schedule. Let's just jump right to that. Let's see here. Okay, let's look at the standings. Let's look at the schedule, see how bad this is going to be. We know she's going to be out for probably 5, 6, maybe 7 games. Let's see here. Okay. So let's remove this. Okay, so where is and this is the overall standings. Where are the Fever? They're at 7, which is where they've always been. They're 2-2. Bad. That's not good. It's not good. New York Liberty 3-0, but they've earned it. They've had some tough games. Atlanta's had some tough games against the Fever. Golden State being 5 is a mirage. That's not going to last. They've played nobody. I expect the Sparks to be much better. We'll see about the Aces. Anyway, we digress. Let's look at the conference. Okay, so in the conference, this is not how I thought it would shape up. I thought it would be Connecticut in this slot, but that's interesting. Wild, right? Connecticut, not good. Not good. Fever in the 3rd slot in the Eastern Conference. So I still predict Liberty, Fever, if Caitlin comes back and we're cool. I'm expecting this to be that, the New York Liberty game to be the preview for the Eastern Conference Finals. So let's look at the schedule for the Fever. Okay, let's look at their schedule. Oh, here it is. Let's take a step back here. Let's go to the homepage. There it is. Caitlin is out. She's hurt. Okay. If you didn't believe me. Okay, let's look at the schedule. Okay, let's look at these. Let's do this. Okay, so maybe it won't be as bad. But it's hard to say. Mystics have some gamers. So let's just be brutally honest. Okay? And let's go 2 weeks. Okay, we're going to count this week as the first week. It's the beginning of the week. It's a Monday. Okay. Oh, darn it. I keep saying they have 3 days. Sorry, man. I'm off because it's a Monday. It's a holiday. They have 2 days. Okay. Anyway. So their next game is going to be we'll be buying some merch later on. Sorry, not now. Okay. So May 28th, Fever at the Mystics. I'm going to give the Fever a loss. I'm sorry. They're on the road. They've lost Caitlin. The Mystics, they're a little worse than the Fever, but if you take Caitlin away, they're probably equal strength. I'll give them the home advantage. And there's a psychological advantage knowing you're not playing against Caitlin. Now, who knows? The team could rally and be like, let's do it for Caitlin. Who knows? The chemistry's there for that. Last year, no, but this year, maybe. Okay, so let's give them an L. So that would make them 2-3. Okay. Indiana Fever Friday at the Sun. Sun's really bad. I don't think the Fever are worse than the Sun, even without Caitlin. Okay, we do have the Blonde squad. We do have some really solid forward work. You got Aaliyah. You'll probably see a lot of feeding Aaliyah Boston. Kelsey Mitchell could go on a tear. Connecticut loses this one at home. Let's put the Fever at 3-3. Okay, so we've got June the 3rd. Tuesday the 3rd. That's in week 2. So we only have 2 games this week. Let's get us into week 2. Fever we're considering the Fever 3-3 at this point. They're going to play Washington again. Let's say Fever bounce back and they win this one. Let's give them 4-3. Okay, that could. I'm starting to feel a little better now that I'm doing this. Okay, so June the 7th. That puts us at the end of our 2 weeks. So we only have 4 games. Not as bad maybe as I'm thinking. I mean, I was really doom and gloom earlier, but this is why we do this. Nationwide game against the Sky. I have to tell you, the Sky, they're so bad. And you know what CBS does with Angel Reese. They won't have the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing to talk about. Who knows? Maybe we have a miracle and Caitlin comes back. It's possible. That's the end of the 2 weeks. But let's just be realistic. I think Fever wins that game. Sky's really bad. Fever much stronger, and the Fever hate the Sky. Sky can't even elevate. When they hate you, they still can't elevate their game. All right, so maybe we give the Fever 5-3 at this point. And then Tuesday, the 10th, that is 3 days later on a Tuesday. That would be if Caitlin's out for 2.5 weeks. They lose to the Dream. There's no way they're going to beat the Dream without Caitlin. That's on ESPN. Technically a nationwide game. Look at these. All these games are just, it's crazy. So that being said, Fever, I think if it goes well, okay, if it goes well, thanks for watching, guys. I'm just going through the schedule. Thanks for watching. As you know, Caitlin is out. News was announced about 2.5 hours ago now that Caitlin is out. So we were looking at the schedule to see how bad this was going to be. I feel better after going through it. But if everything goes well, okay, you're looking at, and if Caitlin's out 2.5 weeks and she doesn't come back for the Sky game, let's just be realistic. You're looking at a 4-4 team by then, maybe 4-5. Not terrible, but not great. We can survive this. If they have really good games and steal 1 or 2, then you're looking at maybe 5-3. That's cool. So thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I was just going through the schedule. Breaking news, if you're just finding out, Caitlin Clark is out for 2 weeks with a left quadricep strain. Back up the show. I went on the old Google machine and showed you where that's at. It's her leg. It's the left leg, the plant leg, the main leg. And that's why I'm just being realistic, saying that's probably why she's had bad games for the last game and a half. Now, she blew up like a monster and really forced it, and she's been pressing. But if you have noticed, her shot has been off. She's been way over to the right on her shot. She's overcompensating. I don't think she got injured during a game in particular. I just think it's an attrition injury over time. And after looking at where the injury's at and looking at how her shot's been the last game and a half, we're like, what's going on with Caitlin Clark? What is going on with the GOAT? I knew something was not right. I didn't think she was injured because she puts in maximum effort. It's crazy how hard she works. I didn't think it was an injury. Turns out it was a lingering injury. And if you notice, Stephanie had her on the bench a little bit more than we had really anticipated. She has been taking more minutes off, weird substitutions with her. And now we know they were trying to give her a little rest because she was dealing with that injury. And that injury has come home to roost. But maybe it's not that bad. I mean, I was doom and gloom when I started this, but we looked at the schedule to see how bad it was going to be. I think my prediction is, and so let's just, I'll just let you know if you're joining late. Thank you guys for watching. I've been going over this for the last 30 minutes about the injury, breaking it down to tell you what we're looking at. I don't think it's going to be a nightmare. There's only 4 games, maybe 5 that Caitlin will miss. And those games are it's a weaker part of the schedule. It really is. You've got the Mystics twice. You've got the Sky. You do have one tough game in there, and that one's going to be maybe actually you don't. You got Sun, Mystics, Sky. Oh, you've got and then Atlanta after on the Tuesday game is Atlanta. Yeah, so that was the one. So if they go 2.5 weeks without Caitlin, I predict they could look at a 4-4, 5-4 schedule. Not terrible. Now, right now they're 2-2. They've had a tough 4 games. Well, one game was easy, this guy. They've had 3 tough games. They've had nationwide games, a lot of pressure on this team. Caitlin is doing her best to press and win. Sorry, guys. Try to put the team on her back and win. But maybe it won't be that bad. So my prediction is for the next 2 weeks, I'm predicting they're going to come out 500 again. So they'll stay 3rd place probably in the Eastern Conference. Just depends. And right now they're 7th place overall. They'll probably stay there. They could slide to 8. Now, that being said, That's not terrible. And I'll give you the silver lining on that. The silver lining is it could be worse. It's an easier part of the schedule. Very smart. There's some extra games of rest in here. I'm sorry, extra days of rest. So very smart for the coaching staff to make this choice and the medical team. I do think I know they didn't want to sit her for the Liberty game, but honestly, I think that, you got to do what you got to do. It's probably hard to sit Caitlin. She probably just tells you I'm fine and she's not. She has the best medical money can buy. She's $1 billion franchise. I think this is a good decision to sit her. And after looking at how easily the Fever could do okay without her in this stretch, I'm good with it. And I appreciate that. And I'd be highly critical if I thought the Fever were mismanaging this. I've been watching basketball for years. I'm not a doctor. I just play what on the internets. And I would be really critical. I'm not. I feel like they're doing the right thing. They're announcing at the right time. So I need a panic button. I really do. Before you hit the panic button, before you hit the panic basketball, what right? Before you do that, understand it's not going to be that bad. And Caitlin could come back sooner. Now, if they give Caitlin 3 weeks, I will say this. If they gave her 3 weeks, that would mean they play the Liberty on Sunday the 14th, which would be, Saturday, June the 14th, which would be 3 whole weeks that she's out. And that would be a loss without her. So that would be still not terrible. So we're going to be okay. The only worry is if she doesn't bounce back. Now, here's more of my silver lining. And we'll just talk about this. Michael Jordan, I'm just going to start comparing her to Michael Jordan. There is no other path. I just don't think there is. You could try to do a Steph Curry or a Kobe, but their paths were different. In the NBA in the 80s and 90s, when Jordan came in, late 80s, early 90s, the NBA was not what it is now. These guys were not making that kind of money. They weren't on nationwide TV. They were playing in really shitty small arenas. People weren't going to the games. There were no stars. It was a bunch of guys in short shorts with only a few guys like Dr. J. Let me fix this, guys. Dr. J, Kareem. There were certain guys that were coming out and they were really unbelievable, right? That's when that age magic, the aged Bird, the age right there started. Bird was pretty much one of the legends, right? Dr. Julius, Dr. J. And there's many others that you could probably name that I'm just not thinking of right now. But then when Jordan came in, it was a game changer. But even though there was like Larry Bird and there were some mega draws in certain large markets, the little markets were struggling. The Lakers were a terrible team. Watch that HBO not documentary, but HBO show called Winning Time, which is incredible show about the Lakers. It's so precise. But NBA wasn't what it was now. Just like the WNBA wasn't what it was. So Caitlin is coming in and she's the Jordan. And so we're going to compare her to Jordan because what Jordan did to the NBA, Caitlin's doing to the WNBA. Okay? So Jordan broke his foot. I forget what year it was, maybe year 2 or 3, very similar. He was pressing. The Bulls were bad at that time, and he broke his foot. He was out for a majority of the season. He came back and played hurt. There was a real drama about it. It's been documented. He tried to play when he wasn't cleared. The team was very upset. The owner of the team came out and started talking shit about him. The GM, there was just all sorts of drama. Jordan was at odds with the team because the team was like, what are you doing? But he wasn't Jordan. I mean, he was, but he wasn't. He hadn't won a championship yet, but he knew the potential. It was hard to keep him off the court. Now that was a broken foot. She does not have a broken bone. That's different. That's a whole season. You're sat. Now here's the other thing that we have to be concerned about. The Jordan comparison ends there in my talk. But anyway, it could be worse. And you have a good schedule. And you've got some scoring power on this team. You've got some playmakers. But it makes sense to me now. If you're joining late, Caitlin Clark is hurt. She's out for 2 weeks. Could be more. with a left quad injury, it's where she plants. She always moved to that left side to hit those bombs. She was really pressing. It makes sense now why she was having bad games. She had a bad game against the Dream, and she had a bad first half against the Liberty, and she's been missing free throws, right? So all of this makes sense now. It makes sense. I believe she's been playing hurt for at least a week, maybe longer. Who knows? She might have been hurt from the beginning of the season. I don't think it was a particular game she got hurt in. I just think it's over time of practice, pressing. Obviously, she's planting in the game. She's not an average human when it comes to athleticism. So she pushes herself beyond what normal people would push themselves, and this is what you get. So I believe she's been hurt for 2 games. But my point is, here's what I was saying. The only thing we have to be concerned with is that it's worse than they're telling us, and it's going to be weeks and weeks and weeks. I do, in a weird way, think, now it's a short season. It really is. It's half of an NBA season. I think that they could sustain her being out for 3, maybe 4 weeks. This is not a bad team. And they have a really light schedule the next 2 weeks. Light meaning bad teams. But the week after that, they go right into the fire. They're playing tough teams again. So that being said, if she's out for 4 or 5 weeks, then there's a point where they'll just say she's coming back for the playoffs if you make it. And I'm not trying to say that's what's going on. I'm just saying you can't play with this injury, because clearly when she plays and she's not 100%, you're getting 70% Caitlin, which is pretty fierce. I'll take that. But you can't take an injury that's not completely healed. It only makes it worse. And then your season is shot. And then you just don't want to. Then from there, she's only human. So then you're looking at like legitimate, serious damage if you keep not resting her. So I think a lot of you watching the show would agree that this is a good time to rest her. Back the show up if you want to get into the details as to the injury. I went on Google. I did a screen share. I broke it down. I gave you my prediction for what I think is going to happen. And we talked about that. And if you're just joining me, you've probably seen the news. Caitlin Clark is out for 2 weeks or more with the left quadriceps strain. And that's why I jumped on. I normally, this is an off day. I'm not, it's a holiday for all of us, but it's that news. It's earth shattering news. She's hurt, man. Like the thing we did not want to happen. So I had to jump on and try to work with this with you guys. But I want you to know, back the show up if you get a chance, because when you're streaming live, you can back it up. That's a setting, by the way. I set it up so you can do that. I want you to know that it's not terrible. We can get through this as fans of the Fever, but the problem is if it goes to 3 weeks, that's going to be trickier, tougher schedule, and then that means that injury is worse than we thought. So it's not completely a total disaster. So yeah, she's out. That's the breaking news. And that's pretty much it. This is just gonna be a short show. Thanks for joining, guys. I know the numbers are as people are seeing this news, the numbers are boosting. On X, we're live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. My YouTube audience, you guys are awesome. Thank you. 1,000 comments a day on all of my stuff. Appreciate that. You guys are really faithful to sharing my show. I appreciate that. You like to share my show and you're subscribing. Thank you. Because as you know, being a fan of Caitlin Clark, I get a lot of hate. And it's getting really, really toxic. Now, I'm fine. I've been doing this for years. I'm used to people being hateful and toxic. I have a really busy TikTok account that I do Caitlin Clark and Fever stuff on. You can imagine what happens on that account. But it gets stressful at times with all the negativity. So my point is, the more you share my show to other fans, the more that supports the show and the more the comments are positive and we can educate these toxic people. Because the people that hate Caitlin Clark, they're just toxic people and they don't understand greatness. They don't understand what they're watching, and that's why they don't like her. But they'll get on board. They'll get on board. In my last podcast, I talked about that. So I'm going to try to post those clips separately so you can share those with a Caitlin Clark hater. If you know somebody that doesn't like Caitlin Clark, you should share my show because I'm critical of the team. I'm very fair. but I'm also, I'm a big fan. So I'm an educated basketball fan, and I think the problem with some fans that have been in the old school WNBA fans or older fans, Caitlin Clark shows up, and then all these new fans show up. They're not quite educated on how things work, and so that just annoys fans that have been watching for years. And they're like, well, who are these new fans? And then all the accusations, the foolishness happens, right? Clearly, there's no foolishness on this show. I'm going to be very honest. I'm not going to give attention to really dumb things like the whole, controversy between the reason why Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are liked or disliked. I'm not getting into that. I mean, I will talk about it, but when it's connected to basketball, I'll talk about it. I'm not going to talk about the gossipy stuff. So anyway, I hope you can respect that. I want to keep this a mature show. There's too many young people that are now fans of Angel or Caitlin or the WNBA, and they're posting so much weird, cringe, toxic stuff. They don't understand the game. To them, it's all gossip. To them, it's just another TMZ thing. It's two celebrities. They don't understand this is a pure sport. This is a traditional sport. It's been around for more than 100 years. When Caitlin and Angel Reese are not playing, there will be another Caitlin and Angel, right? It happened before. It will happen again, right? We've all seen this story before. So, but but with social media, it's a very toxic crowd right now. It's a very toxic crowd. It's very destructive. Social media is something that we really have to be careful with. So that's why I do what I do. I'm trying to combat the negativity with education. So if you're just joining me, I'm going to wrap this show up. Thank you. Please rewind the show. You're going to watch what we just talked about. Breaking news, Caitlin Clark out for 2 weeks or more with the left quad strain. My name is Jason J. Daniel. Please sub and follow. Really appreciate that. You guys are doing that, so thank you. Thank you, guys, and share my show. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to improve it and make it better for you guys. I'm spending the money. I'm doing the things. I'm trying to be better, so thank you. And if you would like, please follow me everywhere at Jason J. Daniel. Now, I have a TikTok that does Caitlin Clark and Fever sports talk. You may be watching this show because of that. Almost 8,000 followers, so thank you guys for that. It's only growing. That's real Jason J. Daniel. Now, if you want to go to the Jason J. Daniel show on TikTok, I know I have more than one account. That gives you the link at the top to my sports TikTok. Follow me. I'd really appreciate that. I look on TikTok. I go TikTok before YouTube, so the breaking news goes on TikTok. Now I do post the shorts as well, so I guess so. It's TikTok, YouTube. So I posted the breaking news before I even went on here on TikTok. So if you want the breaking news, I do injury reports and stuff. You'll get that on TikTok. And there you go. So please, definitely, if you're subbing and follow, I appreciate that. And there you go. So there's the show. Please follow everywhere on the internet. So guys, again, Caitlin Clark is injured, out 2 weeks, maybe more. But let not your heart be troubled. This is a really good team, and the schedule is very favorable. They could kick some serious ass, and then Caitlin comes back, and then they're even more lethal. So that will send a message to the league. If the Fever win out most of these games, if they go like 4-2, I think it's like, or they go 4-1, something like that. We do well, they go 3-2. I think it's 5 games she's out, maybe 6 games. I think they could weather the storm, and they're going to come back even stronger. So we're going to stay hopeful and hope. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a great day, and God bless you. Enjoy your holiday.